Benjamin Ward, how you doing?
I'm good, Asim Ben. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Ben, how do you
Yeah.
like remasters?
Yeah. Depending on the game, I'm all right with them on the most part. I'm sort of sitting on the fence with most of them because this is a PS3 game, obviously. But yeah,
Yes, it is a PS3 game. Yes,
yeah.
you're right. Good observation, Ben. This is Beyond Two Souls, the PS4 version, which has been remastered in shiny 1080p. I will continue from where I was playing, and all sorts of technical and graphical effects, like it's got volumetric lighting as well, Ben.
Ooh.
Soft shadows,
Do love a bit
bloom
of
effects,
volumetric lighting.
and motion blur. Who doesn't like a bit of motion blur?
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. I can sense your excitement, Ben. But Beyond Two Souls, you reviewed it originally on the PS3, and you gave it a very good 9 out of 10.
I did indeed.
I mean, did you expect Beyond Two Souls, they're both getting remastered, Beyond Two Souls and Heavy Rain, the Quantic Dream games on the PS3. Did you expect Beyond Two Souls to get one, though?
I'm not sure, to be honest, because I think the fact that it came out quite late on in the PS3's life cycle, I'm a bit surprised that of the two games, this one's coming out first.
Yeah.
I think it's just a surprise to me, if I'm brutally honest.
Yeah.
So
Fair
I think in terms of a remaster, for people that didn't have a PS3, they've sort of missed out a couple of the better games that were out there. So obviously Sony are going down that road of pushing out things like Uncharted and the Beyond Two Souls and Heavy Rain remasters. And I think if the price right, fair enough. But yeah, I mean, what do you think to it in terms of the upgrade side of things?
Yeah, so far visually it's quite impressive. I mean, I can remember it looking decent on the PS3 anyway. I remember you saying in your review that it pushed the boundaries of the PS3. You're probably right, it did. It just looked. I remember it looking nice on the PS3, but it just looks a lot sharper and a lot more crisp. If that makes any sense, the visuals. I mean, obviously 1080p helps, and the effects and stuff look nicer here. Like, as you see, the fire and the fire here looks really nice. So you got effects like that, and you got the shadows, like we were laughing before. Like the shadows and stuff seem better. The lighting in general seems better as well. So I mean, in terms of the main thing you're going to notice from any remaster or kind of focus on is the visuals, and it seems like this is in terms of that area, it provides and it does what it's supposed to. They've added as much as they can visually without completely remaking the game. So it seems pretty good from what I've played so far. Gameplay wise, there's only like small tweaks being made. So here and there, I mean, the control system is pretty much the same as all of Quantic Dream's previous games. Using the control pad and the analog sticks, basically QTEs, right? Essentially. But the difference here is you've got Aiden, who's the entity you're controlling. You press triangle and you kind of move around with him and cause havoc generally. And as you see here, you just push the stick forward or down, left, right, according to the direction you want to go in. Button presses to perform actions. So it's the gameplay remains the same. Okay. But the one nice thing they have got, which you'll probably see in the other video that I put up, the first 15 minutes, at the end, which is kind of like a telltale thing to do, your choices and like the decisions you made are highlighted at the end of each scene. Okay. So it compares you with other players and all that stuff. So it's kind of gone telltale down that route. I know you're I won't say a huge fan, but you're an advocate of Telltale's games at least. So
yeah, I think
that's a fair inclusion.
Yeah, that sounds like it's good. I mean, the thing with Beyond was obviously it had so many different diverging paths, and there was the point where one of the options could have potentially brought up a bunch more stuff for one route. and there could be some bits that you miss completely. So I think the fact that you've then got this this little overview that says that you did this and this is probably what it led to, I think that's quite a good thing. Because then you can go back and make different changes. One thing I wanted to ask: have they kept the mobile the phone stuff in? Because I know that when you could play using a phone, you could do like cooperative play.
Yeah, that's still in.
Cool. Because I really enjoyed that. That was, I mean, my wife's not really that much into games at all, but she quite enjoyed Beyond because she could basically use the app on her phone and play it that way. And as you say, just cause absolute chaos. So, yeah, that was quite good.
Yeah, that's still in. So as soon as you start the game, you get the option to use the app, and you can choose solo or co-op play. So you've got those options. The controls are still the same tank controls here. As you see, he's struggling trying to talk and move at the same time. With little Ellen Page Jodie here. One thing that is pretty cool, and I know you mentioned it in your review that while back, which you saw in the main menu there, you can play it in the original order, which is kind of like chronologically all over the place, or you can now play it in actual chronological order, which I'm doing right now. So you start off with Jodie's young, and you kind of move your way through until she's a lot older. So because I know that was one of your points that you mentioned in your review, that you would have liked to see it in chronological order as well. Yeah,
I think that was one of the things where the this bit creeped me out a little bit, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, I know.
The whole sort of jumping all over the place thing, it can work well in terms of storytelling, and I think for the most part it did. But then there seemed to be bits where you'd have like a random bit of of Jodie's childhood just thrown in for seemingly no reason, and it was quite a strange thing to have in places, but it's nice that chronological order thing's been put in. Yeah,
it's pretty much a choice you get from the off as well. So as soon as you choose the language and all that sort of stuff at the start, you get to choose which order you want to play the game in, which is quite nice. Okay. And it's got all the DLC in it as well. So the enhanced experiment stuff that was released, that was just like, I guess, trial sort of areas where you could just play around and with Aiden and Jodie. Okay. So that's in as well. There in terms of the just focusing about the gameplay again. In terms of that side of things, they have made certain parts of the game, certain, I guess, fight scenes or action sequences, if you want to call them, slightly harder.
Right.
Because I mean the original game wasn't particularly difficult. I guess it was quite hard to fail. Let's be quite honest. Yeah. It's more of an experience than a game itself. I'm totally forgot what to do here. Okay, there you go. Sorry.
You can try and get
cookies.
I think when she said go play outside, I think you need to get Jodie's jacket.
I want cookies, man. Give me some cookies, man. It looks like playing this part, it looks a lot sharper because it had more detail. Like the fridge on the side, you see, it looks a lot more clearer than before that I remember.
Yeah.
Obviously, the 1080p resolution helps. But yeah, as I mentioned, so the certain action sequences and stuff are harder. They've also made use of the PS4 controller's speaker. So, when you're playing as Aiden, certain sounds and audio will come out of that speaker as well. So they've tried to do as much as possible. I guess for without again remaking the game. And that's really, really all you can ask from a remaster. I mean, I'm not 100% sure what price it's coming out at, but I think it's a cut price. I think it's around 20-something pounds or around that mark. And it's out now. So, and with this, because I know you enjoyed on the PS3, would you consider picking it up again?
Again, depending on the price of it, I think I might do. It's just looking at it now. It's £25, so that's a fairly reasonable price for a remaster, I think. I did have some issues with the game, and I think now it's now it's a little bit of time removed from it, I think certainly things like the narrative does get a little bit bonkers in some places.
Towards the end, I was gonna say, like, David Cage games and Quantic Dream games, I guess, just have that. It's I guess a consistency where towards the end the games just go bonkers. And that's the same here. Really.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a kind of supernatural game anyway, where you're obviously controlling like a ghost. But I mean, there was a lot of things that I wanted to do with the original game. I definitely wanted to go back and do sort of multiple ending kind of things. So, I mean, in terms of the technical performance, you've obviously said that it's 1080p. Have they sort of upped the frame rate, and is it a steady, solid frame rate? Or?
In any of the details got from them for the review, they haven't mentioned frame rate anywhere. So, and I haven't particularly seen. I'm not the most technical, but I pride myself on telling when a game is 30 or 60. It seems like it's pretty much the same as. I can't tell if it's a solid 60. There aren't really a lot of sequences in the game where it pushes the console to the limit, and I can't imagine it does on the PS4. But I haven't had any frame rate issues.
Okay, so there's not like any slowdown or bits like that. Okay, that's good then, because I think that was one of my that was one of the things where I thought to myself, it's obviously it was pushing the PS3 hardware to quite a massive extent, and it did sometimes chug a little bit, but I think given a bit of a new lease of life on more powerful hardware, I think it's probably going to perform pretty well. Yeah, look at it. Like, it looks great over here. Look at this. It looks really, really nice. It's really nice. Pretty cool. And plus, this is better than PES. Look at this. Look at that. It's got better ball physics than PES and FIFA put together. There you go. A reason to play Beyond Two Souls. Man, you're gonna get some troll comment.
Nah, but it's really good. It's really good. I'm a huge fan of David Cage games because they try something different, and they have a narrative approach. Obviously, that's the kind of the main part of these games, and it's the main hook of these games. But I like them. It's a different experience to what you used to, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much the same. I'm a fan of the games. In terms of in terms of I obviously said that I gave the game 9 out of 10, which I stand by that. I think it's a good game. It's, as you say, it's a different experience, and it's certainly something that you don't tend to get. Like, it seems like Sony seemed to take a bit of a gamble with David Cage games, and the fact that they decided to end their recent press conference with the reveal of Detroit made me think. It just made me think that they seem a bit more willing to take risks than other, not necessarily other publishers, but other. Sorry, I was going to say not necessarily Microsoft, but they do seem to take a few more risks, and it doesn't always pay off, but it certainly hits more than it misses, I think. So I agree. Yeah, I really enjoyed. Sorry, I really enjoyed Beyond. So, as I say, I'm not sure whether I'll pick it up again yet, but it looks like it's a good game to pick up if you haven't already. Yeah, and I completely agree with your 9 out of 10, Ben. But just to wrap it up, I think David Cage games and Quantic Dream games are those type of games that are going to be Marmite. Not everyone's going to like them. There's going to be some people that don't like them. Like, if you were to ask 10 people, 5 would probably say, "Nah, I don't like it." Then 5 will probably say, "Yeah, we like it." So they're going to split opinion. But we're on the side of we really like them and they're different experiences. And that seems to apply to the remaster of Beyond Two Souls as well. Still a great game. And that's it, really. Unless you've got anything else to add, Ben, we'll wrap it up there. No, I think that's a fair assessment. I'd probably say that that they are Marmite games. And if you like an interactive story rather than an action focused game, it's the narrative does go some places that people will have problems with, but it as you said, it tries something different, and I think for the majority of the time it succeeds. Brilliant. we'll finish it off there. The written review will be updated on the site soon, so keep an eye out for that. But cheers, Ben, and we'll be back next time, guys.
Bye.